What is up, bros, bears, muscle mommies, and everything in between? As always, this is Patrick, full Paramount Power, your mom's favorite powerlifter, top 40 powerlifter of all time. Welcome back to another episode of Is It Deadlifts or Is It Squirts? Where you got to determine whether or not I pooped on every single rep of my deadlifts. And, a little reference. One of the students I was working one-on-one with yesterday went home sick today with explosive diarrhea. So, Vegas odds has you winning, likely, if you choose every single one. Anyways, what do we have today? What's on the docket? I've been saying 8 weeks out from the American Pro 3, the past couple videos, and then I checked my nutrition plan, because it's a dynamic nutrition plan where I've got different things on different weeks, just to prime me for things a little bit better. We're actually 7 weeks out. So, yeah, it's, cool beans. We are chugging along. So, it's a deadlift day today. We will be deadlifting. Big whoop. Last week, we deadlifted 600 for a couple singles. None of them felt good. It was almost like a deload week, but, what was it, like 8 singles? None of them felt good. So the goal of today, we've got a 4x2 at 617, I believe. I'll have to double check the program when I get to the gym, but my last memory has it as a 4x2, 617 pounds. The whole goal of today, we've got two goals. First goal, deadlifts, got to feel better. I'm feeling a little bit crummy doo-doo right now, because children exist, and children's only role in humanity is to keep the germ pool nice and fresh and spreading rapidly by means of just being children. And the second goal of today is to have my chin position be correct, because I've been noticing that I'm locking out and I'm tucking my chin, which that used to be a cue in old school powerlifting, but that causes issues with lockout. It makes your lockout soft, and modern powerlifting judging is much stricter than it was back in the old day. And we're probably like, oh, I don't think so. The videos, there are very few videos out there, but no one ever was like, oh my gosh. Pretty much every video is of a past lift. But now people post videos of lifts that aren't getting passed and stuff like that. And the pattern is showing that tucking your chin makes your lockout soft. One of the benefits of having so much footage and eyes on the sport of powerlifting is the ability to notice these trends and adapt accordingly. So that's one of the things I've got going on, because when I was at the American Pro 2, 2 of my 3 deadlifts got DQ'd because I tucked my chin rather than keep it straight. I fixed that for the Ghost Clash 3. All better. So make deadlifts feel not stinky doo-doo. I'm not really as sinusy as I was. I do have a little bit of a cough remaining, but it's almost like the finishing flecks of dust on your it's nothing significant. Like, I can pop my ears. I don't have postnasal drip. I haven't had to blow my nose at all today, and we don't really have the sniffles. It's just like the wimpiest of coughs ever. So make sure deadlifts feel good, and make sure that our cues are good. Last week we tried to spend a significant more amount of time setting up on the floor, because I didn't want to have the bar position to be different on rep 1 and rep 2. I was only doing singles. But my coach said that the bar was different in rep 1 and rep 2, and I want to make it replicatable. And it sucked. So, yeah. So 4x2, 617. And then we got accessories, which is prone hip adductions. I'll probably feel man enough to lie down on the ground. I still feel a little meh, but nothing too significant. And I got some life news that I can't share because I'm not going to share much information about my new job that I'll be starting likely after the American Pro. Right now, I'm a substitute teacher and paraprofessional at one of the local school districts. Very fun. Not. What do people mean when they say very rewarding? Like self-fulfillment? I don't know. I don't get off on helping kids write their names. I kind of just show up and do it. And I did get an award at school today for being a consistently good substitute. And all the teachers were like, wow, we've never seen a sub get one of these before. So, yeah. I guess being a little apathetic is good. But doesn't really... I've gotten paid once, and I've worked there for 4 weeks. So, something's really not adding up. And my bank account would say it's the money. I'm not. So this weekend I'm going to be doing some Uber Eats. I got some stuff to do for the new job to get me ready for it. I got some stuff to do next week as well, and hopefully things chug along and I'll be able to start in November, right after the American Pro 3. So I'm excited for that, and that will fix 99% of my monetary struggles, because it's a good job. And yeah, I'm not going to talk about much more of that. But we're almost at the gym. I've been rambling at you guys for about 7 minutes now. Will I edit this in the ADHD editing that I've done sporadically? I don't know. But I said 7 minutes, and you guys can know what I mean by that. If there isn't a cut every 3 seconds to get rid of dead space. Because dead space, not good space. Anyways, I will be back with the training update, and I'll give you the rundown as how everything went afterwards, or during, where, you know what I mean. Patty out. Woo-wee! Put something inappropriate here because I did not think this through. We had ourselves a deadlift day today. Now, it wasn't the best of deadlift days at all. Not at all. But for what it was fantastic. And my coach agrees. He said it was really great deadlift. So, really what we were looking for today was it to be better than last week, our chin possession to be good, and that's it. We did that, boys. So, let me go over the training day, because I got a little excited. I spoiled things for you. But I didn't spoil everything. Keep your money in hand for the Vegas odds of me pooping myself while deadlifting. So, we started off the day with the Lock Basic 5. The Lock Basic 5 is basically a PT, I don't want to say dance. I'm thinking of the firebending dance from Avatar: The Last Airbender, where Aang and Zuko did the firebending dance, and then it summoned the dragons. And then Zuko learned that fire is not just for hurting people, and then he became one of the best firebenders out there. It's kind of like that, except instead of teaching you firebending, it's priming your upper body, lower back, core, everything for doing... If you have an achy lower back, do the Lock Basic 5, and over time, it'll fix you right up, unless there's something drastically wrong with you. It's a very good therapeutic set of movements. I'm not the only one in my gym who does it. I've noticed a couple times that the second heaviest deadlifter in the gym, Teddy, also performs the Lock Basic 5 before some of his training days, and it's... Yeah, I've done it. I've had multiple coaches give it to me. It's really good. 25 clamshells, 30 count plank, 15 count side planks, 10 shoulder taps, and then donkey kicks for sets of 20 per leg. Not too hard, pretty quick, pretty good. Easy breezy, cover girl. Maybe it's Maybelline. It's not Maybelline. So, and then we moved on to the thoracic spine extended. What is this guy doing? You going? maybe, I don't know. Thoracic spine extended, chest supported rows. Sorry, I was at a four-way intersection, and you can never assume that people actually know how to drive literally anywhere, even though we all have to take classes on how to drive. Weird. That basically got the lats and everything nice and good. It kind of cracks the back a little bit for me personally, because I spent all day. I was substitute teaching for a teacher's assistant in the preschool, and a lot of the kids were like, "Hey, let's do this puzzle together. Let's play babies together." And I was like, "Can I do it from the chair?" And they're like, "Absolutely not." So my right knee is a little stinky right now. It's throwing a little bit of a tantrum, and that's not even the knee that has patellar tendonitis. It's kind of a thing when that knee is the good knee, but it is what it is. It'll be better by morning. Yeah, but chest supported row or dumbbell rows for sets of 12, pretty good. Not really looking to put mass on that, mostly just priming the upper back for training. So moving on to deadlifts. First set, one red, so it's like 155 or whatever the fuck it is. I don't actually know, because kilos are gay. Did that for a set of 5. I noticed I was actually able to get some nice hoverage going on. And basically what I mean by hovering, it's not good for everybody. If you wedge into the bar correctly, then it's good, because it means that the weight's not heavy enough. If you are just making the bar hover for the sake of making it hover, it is not good. It is not good at all. So don't just follow what your favorite lifters do, because it's good for them, not necessarily good for you. So everyone's different. Take everything with a grain of salt. But I noticed that hoverage, and I was like, okay, today's going to be good. And I took my second warm-up, which was 3 reds, which is like 365 or something like that, something around there. And took that for a set of 3. It felt super good, and I was like, all right, today's going to be a good deadlift day. And then we put on 5 plates and black 2.5 kilo plate to make it 617. First set felt phenomenal. I was like, wow, this is easy. And then the thought of this is easy stuck in my head. And we went into the second set 2 minutes later, because I had 2 minutes rest in between these sets. It's kind of funny. I was talking with one of my homies, Sophia, and she also had a 4x2 today. But she's got a different coach who doesn't do timed rest periods like Joe does. And I finished all 4 of my sets in the time it took her to do 2 sets. I felt very good. And then she was like, why the fuck did that move better than mine? And I'm like, yes. But it also gave me an opportunity to be like, here's what you're doing wrong. Here's what here's what it looks like when it's done right. And then here's also something to consider. And what I was talking about is the movement of the hips. If you see your hips move before the bar starts to move, you're not tight enough. That is an indicator that you're not tight enough. And the heavier you go, the tighter you have to get. So in these 4x2 deadlifts, the bar never went up before my hips went up. Everything moved good. Everything was good. But my PR deadlift, 779 at the Ghost Clash 3, my hips started to rise before the bar because I wasn't tight enough. I could have been tight enough for mid 600s, but not tight enough for almost 800 pounds. So that's something to consider. If your hips go up, it means that one of 3 things, if not all 3, are not tight enough. Your core, which is usually that's the number 1 thing. Usually if it pops up, it's your core. The next is your lats, and then last is your glutes. And I like to cue my glutes almost like I'm scooping the bar. It's almost like you're wedging your hips under the bar. What I do when I cue myself when I deadlift is I set my lats. I basically pinch my scaps, elongate my arms, set my core, and this is all done when I've got the straight legs. And then I jam my hips under the bar, and then I deadlift. That's how I wedge into a deadlift. and you should too. So second set, I was like, wow, that was easy. And then it sucked. And I was like, wow, that sucked. So the third set obviously had to be good. And then the fourth set, I was like, okay, little humbled, have no expectations. And it was a good set. So that was good. And then we did the, those were actually really good deadlifts. Like, we were not 100% yet. We're not back to 100% from whatever plague the children thrust upon me last week. But the little bit of sandbagging we did last week, where we're still getting motion and lotion, but not taxing our CNS and fatiguing ourselves, allowed us to recover quicker because we put our ego on the side. We left it at the door, and we allowed ourselves to do what we needed to do in order to progress in the way that we needed to progress. So we did the prone leg adductions. Those are pretty good. And then I actually read my program for once, and I've been doing this superset wrong the entire time, and it's supposed to be elevated heel goblet half squats, bottom half squats. I was like, oh, so I did that correctly this time. Then we finished off, we were supposed to do a 4x12 calf raise. I did a 2x24. I got the hypoxic response. We got a calf pump. That's basically, it's good. We're basically doing those to get knee health. So getting a good range of motion in those, and I was making sure I was getting a good range of motion. It's the bottom part that's the important part of calf raises, because that's going to give you that Achilles tendon a lot of strength and elasticity. And if you don't have a lot of elasticity or strength in your calves through your Achilles tendon, because you aren't doing stuff with that like crooked angle of your foot to leg, then you are setting yourself up for a potential injury in the form of being Aaron Rodgers. And I mean, to be honest, most of y'all are not pussies like Aaron Rodgers, but it still sucks. I have a client who went off program towards Achilles, and he's still coming back from that, even though we've parted ways since. But that's that. It was a deadlift day, which means I get a free meal, and I elected to get Domino's because it's fast and easy. Why was I trying to put a squeezy? I don't understand myself sometimes. But also, the Patriots are playing the Jets today, and it's going to be a good game because it's going to be an absolute shit show. And I'm excited to watch Aaron Rodgers cry like a fucking baby. So, this has been Patrick, full primer power, your mom's favorite powerlifter. Tell her that I love her and I miss her, and mostly just to get her to send me more nudes, because I've run out of the material, and I need new material for collage reasons. Print them out, make a scrapbook of titties, like all men do. If you're a woman out there watching this video, all men make scrapbooks of titties. Yeah, they just don't like to talk about it, and that's why they act weird when you mention scrapbooking around them, because they don't want to reveal that they're actually really into scrapbooking, except their scrapbooks are full of pussies and titties. So anyways, patty out.